Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Round Robin. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with Christine Mulligan, Nina Mulligan, Angela Hafler, and of course, my husband, Todd Preston. Hey, everyone.
Hey. Hey, y'all. Stop.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning. Well, first things first, ladies and gent. I challenged us all to do something that's only meant for ourselves last week. And that, my friends, is our Power Hour.
That's right.
And we record every Sunday. And last week, starting on Wednesday, we were supposed to start our own personal journey with our Power Hour. Tell me the truth. Tell me no lies. Who did it?
I did it.
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
I did it.
Yay. And I know what Christine's answer is.
Because I wake up and start working. That's just how it works. So I'm not on my phone listening to tiki-taki. I sleep until I have to go to work. And then I wake up, brush my teeth, take a piss, and go to work. Like, that's my power hour. Okay? I got no more time in my life. I prefer to sleep.
Well, that's a bunch of horse shit. You didn't follow the rules. Working is not for yourself.
Hey, listen.
What?
I told you, I stayed sleeping until I had to work. That's my power hour.
All right. Well, I'm going to be honest. I did it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I really enjoyed it. Saturday was really tough because I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get ready, get showered. Emily had a volleyball tournament all day Saturday. And then this morning I've been up working for this, getting stuff ready for today. So I'm going to have to do my power hour at the end of the day. But I liked it.
I did too.
What about you, Angela?
I struggled because I kind of do a power hour throughout the day. Like, I do some meditation and stuff like that. But I did it, and it was great for like 2 days. And then the other 2 days, I really, really struggled. So I don't know. I mean, I did it.
I'm proud of you.
Gave it my all.
I'm proud of you.
It's actually kind of easy for me because it takes about an hour for me to just wake up. So I just sat there. I just sat there and got deep into thought while I drank my coffee. You know?
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, spend time with yourself. What about you, Nina? How did it go for you? How did it feel?
Yeah, I don't think it's a real positive thing for me. Only because, look, so I have a brain that never stops. And the only thing that makes it stop is constant distraction. And so when I have to get silent with my thoughts, then most of the time it's just coming up with various ways that, should I have been born with a superpower, how I would round up all my enemies and, you know, they just take a dirt nap. So all I think about is murder when I get silent. So I think in this perimenopausal phase of my life, like getting quiet with my deep and dark thoughts probably isn't the most healthiest thing.
Well, then I'm going to definitely encourage you to not do the power hour so that you don't murder people.
Nina's a special case. You know how they say idle hands do the devil's work? Well, with Nina, it's idle minds think of the devil's work.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got too much Capricorn and Scorpio in me to think happy thoughts, I think. It's just in my stars. I can't help it. I try.
Well, then as soon as you wake up, Christina, make sure she's got her tiki-talk ready to go. Fire it up. Well, for me, it was hard as well because, you know, you get up, you have your morning routine. I did make sure I got up earlier every day. I mean, I got to do certain things that need to be done, getting the dogs outside, feeding them and all that. But while I was doing that, I just kept, at first, the task was really hard for me because I'm like, okay, I've got like 20 things I want to work on, things I want to work through. And I'm like, no, you can't possibly do all of those things. Just pick one. So that was hard. So I just decided, okay, I just need, what we're going to work on is centering myself, just focusing on some positive thoughts and energies for the day. So day one was really hard. Day two was a little bit easier. And then I talked to my oldest daughter, Lauren, and she actually kind of does something similar. She only does it on her work days, though. She gets up a little bit earlier. She lights candles. She drinks her coffee. She centers herself. And I was like, you know what? kind of liking that. So once I would kind of get through, my tasks that I had to do with the dogs and stuff, I grabbed a candle. I just stayed in the kitchen. I lit the candle and I just savored my coffee and I just stared into the flame while I was working through some of the things I need to do to clear my mind, things I'm not going to let bother me today, that kind of thing. And then day 3, I did the same thing. So that was Friday. And I got to tell you, to me, I think it felt good. I felt a little more raring to go. I mean, I'm always raring to go. I'm just, ball of energy. But it just seemed like my brain was already kicked in gear. Things just felt a little easier for me. So if a power hour doesn't work for Nina, she's out. She can't do it. But if it works, I mean, we're supposed to do it first thing in the morning when you wake up. But if your power hour, if your best time is at night or in the middle of the day, then do it then. If you're going to stick with it, I'm going to keep going.
Yep. It's first thing in the afternoon for me.
Because that's when you wake up.
Right.
Right. So that's your morning.
Yep.
Right. So I think as long as we have those moments, if you guys still want to do it. I'm going to keep doing it. So
I'll keep doing it. I just have to do it at a different time. I think the time is what works differently for me. I mean, like I said, I already kind of do it anyways. It's just different time.
Yeah. I think I might do a 50-50 bag. Like after the dogs are done in the morning, that gives me about 30 minutes before I got to get Emily to school. I think I'm going to continue that with the candle and just focusing then. But I also think at night, because that's when it's the most quiet around here. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do a 50-50.
The dogs are chill.
Yeah.
Emily's settled down. I'm at work.
Yep, I'm all by myself. Yep. The house is quiet. Yep. There's not a lot going on outside. So who knows? I mean, maybe doing it before you go to bed is a great idea, right? Because some of the most brilliant ideas come to us when we sleep. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works for you, Nina. Maybe you'll actually visualize what you're doing to people. That could be interesting.
Yeah, a different time might work better. And I mean, to be honest with you, I'm kind of like Todd in a sense. Like when I wake up, I'm not really coherent until there's coffee in me and like my hands don't work and I'm just kind of like groggy. So I don't know like necessarily how much me just waking up and like being quiet would be beneficial. So maybe if I quieted myself in the middle of the day, that would make a difference. But then again, technically you do a power hour like every day because you do that whole neck stretchy thing that you do. You go outside and like just sit and sip on something and read for a little bit. Like you do that all the time. It's not fair to put Nina in the same category because she's always got her fucking afternoons free. That's true. I'm quite flexible.
Yeah, right.
But that's because I'm flexible, so.
Right. Well, another good friend of mine told me that she likes to go out. Now, she wakes up and it depends, anywhere from 2 o'clock in the morning to 3 a.m. and she stays up. She's always been like when she was working previously, she would always have to be at work at 5 o'clock. So she was always up by 3. And that's kind of how she was. One of the things she says she does, which I think I'm going to try this week, is to go outside and stand in the grass barefoot and just look up into the sky. Yep. Look up into the sky. If the moon is out, the stars, whatever's going on in the sky, and do it that way. I think I'm going to try that this week.
It's cold.
It is cold, and my feet are going to be frozen. I don't know if that's going to be good for me, but at least maybe shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes. But I love the night sky, so I think I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
So I think whatever works best for us.
Yeah.
Wherever we have.
The shoes on the grass, you're missing the whole grounding thing. It's supposed to be barefoot on the grass. You can't wear shoes.
Well, you can't die of hypothermia.
It's cold.
Either.
It's cold at night. We're getting.
Well, it's grounding that.
It's partial.
Well, you don't have to do it for a very long time.
All right.
Just a few minutes.
All right, damn it. I'll do it.
Just don't do it in the backyard.
Yeah, the shoes, you're missing the point.
All right, I will do it barefoot. And you know what? Hey, maybe it's like that whole polar bear thing. It'll be good for my brain. Top it all off. They say that's good for you to prevent Alzheimer's, That's the whole polar bear business. It's good for your body to be cold. Good for your body to take. Mm-hmm. good for your body to take.
That's the whole.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
That's the whole basis of that whole cryotherapy. Like they do cryotherapy for everything now. And basically all it is freeze something to almost frostbite and then bring it back to life.
Yeah. Yeah. My neighbor, I don't know if she's still doing it, but she would take a shower and then once she's all clean, she'd put that shit straight on cold. I can't do that. But same purpose, same.
Nope.
I know. No. I like to go hotter. I want it real hot. So I'm like, all right, get your ass out. I like hot showers anyway.
I had a friend that was from Romania, fresh off the boat, so to speak, from Romania. So his parents, they were very entrenched in their culture and everything. And they were firm believers as a woman that you should always take cold showers because it kept your skin tight. Therefore, it kept your breasts firm. Like, this woman was telling me all about how I should never take a warm shower because she was looking at me and I was a teenager, but I had big boobies, you know? So she felt the need to make sure that I knew with big boobies that I should only be taking cold showers for the rest of my life. Like, she went in, I had a half an hour lecture about how I should only take cold showers because I was big breasted. She didn't use those words, but that's why she was telling me.
She told you you had big boobs without telling you had big boobs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but apparently in Romania, they're big on that. I don't know. Maybe she was just, a one-off weirdo. But I imagine. And then later on, we talked about it. And they were saying, that it's not only do you save money and time because heated water there was a bigger deal. I don't know. Let me not elaborate on that because I don't know. But it was a whole big lecture about how take cold showers only, especially for women, to keep your skin tight. And it was healthy for your skin.
I don't feel clean if it's cold. That's just weird. What germs are you killing? And what oil are you getting off your body on cold water? That just sounds like something somebody made up because they didn't have hot water. So they were just trying to convince their kids, oh my God, this is so great. Yeah, I just love this. This cold shower is fantastic. I bet that bitch is taking warm showers now. Okay.
She can afford that now.
Or somebody that's cheap. Heat costs money, So.
Yeah, it does. I can see the rationale. But what if it's true? What if
it is?
So you got to scrub it up first and hot.
Well, the cold water theory is true, though. I mean, that's the whole point. When you shock your body and you bring the temperature down, because it takes so much energy to keep your body warm, you end up losing weight. So it makes sense. And she is scientifically correct. Although there isn't any muscles in your actual skin, for whatever reason, I don't know. The cold water makes it retracts. I guess. Well,
there's millions of muscles in your skin.
There's no muscles in your actual skin.
Yes, there is. About erectile muscles. You have how many hairs do you have in your body? For every hair you have 3 muscles.
But there's no muscles in your pores. It doesn't necessarily, your pores don't physically shrink. I think that the cold water just jars your skin. And for that brief moment, it tightens up.
No, baby, do you know about goosebumps? Or
frizzles?
You call them frizzles.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all from muscles, erector muscles.
I don't think so.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Because if that's the case, no skin would ever snap.
Okay, shush.
Frizzles.
No, that has nothing to do with
Your hands would go like this, and your skin would never sag.
Let's not go to the medical stuff. Let's just leave it alone. And we're not going to go there.
Can I just interject? A, I love it when you guys go back and forth. B, when you said goosebumps, she's like, frizzles? And you said, yes, baby. Frizzles.
Frizzles. That's
Yeah, that's what she calls them.
Yeah.
Frizzles.
Well, that's what we're calling them
That's
now,
it.
too.
We're done with goosebumps. I love it. So that's a new word I'm incorporating. And then when Emmy was little, anything that was carbonated, she called it fizzery.
Fizzery.
I'm like, I love it. Fizzery. I love it. So, I was telling Christine earlier, because as I've mentioned before, Christine and I record Malice, and now we record Round Robin back to back. So I told her I started taking a liquid dropper every morning of it's got wormwood and black walnut and pumpkin seeds and all that kind of stuff ground in there because we all have parasites. And I'm like, I want to cleanse my body. So there's a lot of stuff that you take that will kill the parasites, but it doesn't help you excrete them. So this is what I'm taking. It's from Neutralis. It does both. So I'm pooping a lot more, which is awesome. I'm looking for bugs. I'm not seeing any, but that's fine. It might trip me out a little bit. And so anyway, I think it's important that we, and then Christine happened to tell me that they do a lot of parasite cleanses in other countries other than the U.S. on the reg. Right, Christine?
Yeah, we don't do that in the United States at all. Like, that's not part of our physical examinations. But in most other countries around the world, part of their health maintenance is getting dewormed, and they deworm them. And I've been saying this for years. I want to do it, but I don't want to do it because I don't want to see like anything ever come out of me. Like I don't want to see it, but at the same time, I'm like low key obsessed with it. Like, even if I ever like pop a blackhead on my face or whatever, like everybody's popped a pimple, right? I'm like, that's very like when the sebum comes out, I always like imagine it being a worm. And like, it's almost like I daydream about the worms coming out, and then I get all grossed out and I'm itchy, and it's like, it's mesmerizing to me at the same time as it completely horrifies me.
Right.
Like completely horrified. But someday I want to find a dewormer that I can get in America where you could just take it, just one shot and done, like I do with my dogs. We give them dewormer, and I've had plenty of puppies in my life, and you give the puppies the dewormer, and 9 times out of 10 for the next week, you're looking at their poop with dead worms in it, So we don't necessarily have the same types of worms, but we potentially have all sorts of parasites, worms in our system. So I would love to take a wormer like we give to the dogs, and then I just poop out the worms. I like that in theory, but if I ever took something and then I was pooping worms, I don't know what I would do with myself.
I know.
I would take care of your poopy worm bug day.
I think I would die. Like, I want to take it, and I want any parasites in me to come out. But then if they actually came out of me, I think I would just crawl inside out and die.
I know, but it's like the thought of it, because we know they're there, that the thought of it is horrifying. I know.
I love talking about food. I think it's super important. Nobody talks about it enough, and people like act ridiculous. We're adults. Like, everybody has a butt, everybody poops, and you should be looking at it because your poop tells a lot about how healthy or unhealthy you are.
That's right. That's right.
All the time. There's nothing up in there every day.
Yeah, you got to look at it.
Like as long as my forearm. You should have seen that shit. It was crazy. She's like, hey.
She does talk about that shit way too much. Here we go. We talk about poop too much on this goddamn podcast. I feel like every week we're talking about shit.
Like, yes, at least once.
At least once. It's important, per Nina.
It's a pinnacle point of our life, like Nina said. I mean, it's a big part of our lives.
Well, don't you almost feel like when you get a good one out, don't you almost feel euphoric? It's like your body feels like, yes. No?
Oh my goodness.
Am I the only one? Nina knows.
Yeah. You feel clean, you feel empty. You're like, I'm pretty sure I lost a couple pounds with that one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like shedding extra weight.
Yeah. Well, and it's toxic. Get it out.
I don't have to carry that around the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
It's rotten. You got to get it out.
You guys, as nurses, have seen some gross stuff with parasites. You had to have.
Oh, God.
I know, Christine. To be honest, I've got some amazing poop stories from the hospital, but I think Christina's got me on this one.
Well, when we were talking about parasites, I have seen, and not just once, a couple times, I have seen patients with parasites, even worms in their urine. Because, for those of you that don't know, we put catheters in, critically ill patients so they don't wet the bed on themselves constantly because they're sedated. So they have catheters put in. And I have had patients where you can see worms in the catheter bag. So in other words, the urine that comes out of the tube, out of them, it accumulates in a bag that we call the catheter bag, the Foley bag. A Foley catheter is what it's called. And I've seen, and when people are ill or whatever, one of the things that as a nurse you assess, we assess their urine. We assess their poop too, but we assess their urine and we describe it. And it can be cloudy and it can be mucusy. Those are common terms that are in our charting that we say. Well, sometimes when you would think it was just mucusy urine, if you looked real close, you could see the worms swimming around in the pee bag, just swimming. And that was crazy to see. But then, of course, then you would start to, give them anti-parasitic medicine and we would kill all that off. But when my worst story about parasites has nothing to do with intestinal worms. It has to do with the parasite that forms and lives off of necrotic tissue. So tissue that's dying. So one thing that happens with terminally ill or indigent kind of situations that humans find themselves in are like decubitus ulcers. And these decubitus ulcers are like where the skin kind of breaks down and it's no longer protecting that area of the body. It sometimes breaks down and then can open up into an open wound. Well, I had a patient that came in. Well, I was a night nurse. So one of the things that night nurses in the units would usually do is, bathe the patient, like really give them a good bed bath and clean them up and get them looking as presentable as you can look in a hospital bed, right? Well, so I'm getting ready to do this, and I see that this patient has a decubitus ulcer on their heel, which is common because it's a pressure point, and ulcerations, are usually caused by too much pressure on the same area for extended periods of time, right? Without getting too deep into it. And eschar is like a blackening where the skin is like just necrotic. It's dead. It kind of blackens. So one of the things that you do with wounds as a nurse is you debride them to clean them. So you get all the dying and decaying cells and fluff off, and you get down to the meat of it. You get down to the meat, the healthy meat that you can then keep clean and start to medicate and start to try and heal. You can't heal it if there's dead tissue on it because it'll just, like the dead will spread, right? It's kind of like the penumbra, right? If you don't deal with the dying portion of it, then it'll spread, misery loves company kind of idea. I stopped what I was doing. I went out and I got all my supplies, as nurses do. You got to be prepared for everything before you get into anything. So I went and I got a bunch of supplies for what I thought in my mind that I would need. One of those supplies being a big bin. I'm sure anybody that's ever been in a hospital, you see the big pink bins that are all over the rooms and everything. So I went and got a big bin. I pulled up a chair. I heightened the bed so I can be at working level with the heel. And I hung the foot, I placed the leg to the side of the bed. So I hung the foot off the bed so I can, get at it and do my nursey things, right? So I put the bin under the foot and I started breeding it. And I did call in one of my fellow nurses because I knew I was going to have to maneuver the patient and I was going to need help with the bed situation. It's nighttime and in between the hours, because in a unit, you have things to do on all your patients every hour on the hour. So it was also a timing thing. I needed somebody to help me get it done faster, yada, yada. So I get all ready. I'm all ready. I have the bin there. I have all my supplies to irrigate the wound, to, get all the bad stuff off and get to the good stuff and put some maybe creams on it or whatever and call it a day. Well, once I got into this wound, as soon as I made it soft enough where I can kind of debride the crispy stuff on the outside, Okay, I want to give you some imagery and something that you're familiar with the sound of. So how I explained it to Tracy earlier is everybody's probably had Cocoa Puffs in their life or anything, any kind of puffy cereal. And you put it in milk and the bottom of it gets real soggy, almost like, and another thing you can think of it is if you've ever dealt with those little jelly balls that you put in vases for flowers. And when those jelly balls, they're hard rocks when you start out, you fill them with water and they puff up, and then the water goes away and you're just left with these jelly balls. Or in the case of the cereal, the milk goes away, but all the Cocoa Puffs are all filled with milk. Well, picture pouring a big carton of that into a plastic bowl 3 to 4 feet away. And the sound of that, well, that's what happened. Only it wasn't Cocoa Puffs or beads from a vase. It was maggots. I filled up this bin with maggots from the station's foot. So, of course, it's rancid. The smell is ridiculous. I'm gagging every 5 minutes. I'm very grateful that my patient is sedated because I didn't want to make them feel any sort of way because I couldn't stop from hacking. I was like, what? Every 5 seconds. It's a mirror. I was peeing my pants because I was retching so hard. Yes, I had to change my whole scrub outfit after this debacle. Not only because I couldn't get the stench off me, but also because I literally peed my pants from retching while I'm cleaning out this wound. And the maggots were unreal. There were so many of them. There's a lot of things that we use, and Tracy's familiar. There's actually, anybody that's been to a doctor's office probably knows those long matchstick Q-tips where they're like 6 inches long and there's a Q-tip on one end and then it's just a long wooden stick on the other. Well, this wound, these maggots came from a cavern in this poor person's heel that went up to midway up their calf, in the back of their calf. It was deeper than my Q-tip to measure the wound could go. And it was chock full of maggots. Most of which, I think, hopefully all of which, I ended up getting out through multiple rounds of irrigation. But it was the worst. And I don't know. I guess maggots are parasites, right? Because they live off decaying tissue. So they're technically parasites.
Yeah.
So this fits into the parasite realm.
Right.
It was about 3 pounds of parasites out of this person's heel. It was insane.
I got that creepy, weird feeling again in my body.
I put it in a red bio bag and I put it down in the incinerator. Well, I didn't put it in the incinerator, but there's a room, a biohazard room that we have on every unit. And then the people come and take it and they go and incinerate it.
I could not. Now, that type of wound is also called, it's a tunneling wound. It just keeps moving on up. Oh, my God. My heart breaks for that person. I could not imagine. And go you for making the world right for that person. That was a tough job.
Well, I don't know if God made the world right. They were unfortunately a very ill person. But they did make it out of me. So.
Yeah, there you go. You made them better. I couldn't even imagine how awful that must have felt for that person. How awful.
Made me all the worse. It's still a very vivid memory, and I want to say it's at least 18 years ago, at least.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like it's yesterday.
Yeah.
It's yesterday. It will never leave me.
No. We've talked about that before. Things that will never leave us. Crystal clear.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Well, it's a good thing my power hour wasn't coming up next because I'd be thinking about maggots.
You got to clear it from your mind. Clear from your mind.
Gross.
Yeah. All the more reason I haven't done my parasite dropper, but I'm doing it as soon as we hang up. I haven't done it yet for today. It's going to happen sooner than later. Ugh. Okay. I totally feel weird now. I've got some really, 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 really sad news. I'm sure everybody's heard about it by now. Diane Keaton passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
79 years old.
She's one of my favorite actresses.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She was born on January 5th, 1946, so just a couple years older than my mother. She was born in California. Now, for those who don't know who she was an American actress, director, producer, photographer, known for her quirky, independent style and her long collaboration with filmmaker Woody Allen and director Francis Ford Coppola. She was one of Hollywood's most acclaimed actresses, known for both comedy and drama. In fact, I think she has a couple of films she's working on right now that she produced. Pretty sad.
Yeah.
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 I heard it yesterday. I'm like, no way, man, no way. But anyway, I didn't know. I thought I'd kind of bring up some of her most famous roles. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. She played Kay Adams in Godfather, the original 1972. Then again in Godfather Part 2, 1974. And then Godfather Part 3 in 1990. She was just so young in those movies. Annie Hall, that was in 77. She won an Academy Award for Best Actress. I've never seen Annie Hall. Have you guys?
I think I have. It's
I
been
don't
a
even
while.
know what it's about.
Yeah. It's about.
Did you guys ever?
It's about Annie Hall.
It is about Annie Hall. But have you guys ever seen it? I guess I was never interested in it.
I'm sure I probably have. Watching old movies with my mom. I
Yeah.
think that's considered an oldie.
Yeah, I'm sure I've probably seen it. I know of it, but I can't even think of what it was about right now.
It was about Annie Hall.
Yeah, okay. I heard you.
It's a film by Woody Allen that examines the rise and fall of his relationship with struggling nightclub singer Annie Hall. Speaking directly to the audience in front of a bare background, the singer reflects briefly on his childhood and his early adult years before settling in to tell the story of how he and Annie met, fell in love, and struggled with the obstacles of modern romance, mixing surreal fantasy sequences with small moments of emotional drama.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that sounds like something I want to watch.
Yeah, I think I have seen it in passing just because it is an old Woody Allen movie and they used to play him on cable television all the time.
Yeah.
But ever since I was a child, and I was not a molested child. I was very fortunate. I didn't get molested, you know what I mean? But ever since I was a child, I did have friends, even as a kid, that I was aware that they were getting molested in their lives. So I think I've always had like a really strong hate for molesters. And when I was young, in the 80s was when Woody Allen was being accused of all this stuff. And then in the 90s, he married his daughter, for Christ's sakes. Oh,
Yeah.
my God, it's disgusting.
Yep.
So anything that's ever associated with Woody Allen, and there's other celebrities too, that I just have like a guttural disdain for them. So it always makes me a little cringy. Like, it makes my skin crawl. Literally makes my skin crawl when people tout, the wonders of Woody Allen. I'm just like, ew.
Yeah. I feel the same. I was never a big fan of Woody Allen, and same thing. It's like, nope, I had to shut him off. Nope. So I've never been a big.
I just can't.
Yeah, no. Some other of her movies were Manhattan in 1979. I don't remember that one. Reds, don't remember that one. Baby Boom, 1987. I love that one. She was like a big businesswoman and ended up moving to Vermont with this baby that kind of fell into her lap. Father of the Bride, 1991. And then Father of the Bride Part 2 in 95. Absolutely love those. Those are great. Something's Gotta Give. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
2003.
First Wives Club is one of my favorites. She was in that as well.
Yeah, she was. I love that one. I've seen that one a bunch. Book Club. That one was great. But then there was also a sequel to Book Club called The Next Chapter. I never saw that one, so I'm going to have to watch that. And then as of 2025, Diane Keaton appeared in over 70 films and television productions. That's a huge career.
Wow.
Huge career.
Yeah.
And then
She was fantastic.
She was. And then did you guys know that she always wore her own clothes in all the movies she did? She never let, what do you call it? Wardrobe. She never let them dress her. They were always her own clothes. She dressed herself.
Interesting.
I loved her
pretty
style.
cool.
Yeah. I loved her style. She was,
I've heard that before. And she had a lot of quirks. Like,
Yeah.
she always liked turtlenecks and she preferred gloves.
oh, I knew about the turtlenecks,
And
not the
that was-
gloves.
Yeah. Well, she didn't like her hands to be shown too much. And if they were going to be shown, she would wear gloves. Because unfortunately, she was like many of us women, and she had probably a dysmorphic view of herself, and it was for her aging. She didn't like how her neck sagged or how her skin looked old, her hands looked old.
Right.
So I always my heart broke for her for that, because she was an amazing woman.
Right.
Who cared how saggy her neck was or how old her hands looked. Like, she was beautiful, and she never fully recognized the fact that she was completely beautiful in everything of herself, because she would still cover those things. So that always broke my heart a little bit for her.
Well, and I did hear about that, but those are the two areas you cannot cover. You cannot hide your age through your neck or your hands. And the other thing is that I'm thinking of
That's
is
the thing is, why in today's day and age, why are we still trying to hide our age?
well, she's in the movie business.
I'm 50.
She's-
I can stretch. I can kick.
I know, but she's in the movie business, right? So maybe that had something. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and maybe it was a hang up of hers. I get it. I mean, I oil and lotion on the daily since I was in my early 20s, because I don't, women don't age as gracefully, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion, as men, right? And I think that's also because of the.
That's where that's allowed to age. Exactly. That's
Right.
different. That's where I get mad.
Right.
That's why I feel so bad for women, because men are considered handsome when they go bald and gray, and women are considered haggard when they go gray. Do you know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't like
That bod is like super sexy, but heaven forbid you don't look like Forever 21 as a mom who's popped out 3 kids.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes me angry. Low-key angry. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Society's fucked us up. Society has really gotten to our heads. I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
So, but I am very sad. Of course, we've lost a handful of other, big stars this year as well. But I am truly sad of losing Diane Keaton. I really loved her as an actress. Yep.
But she was 79 years old, so
Yeah.
she lived a great long life.
Well, shit happens.
Rest in peace.
79
in
is
peace.
79. Absolutely. So I don't know about you guys, if you guys were ever big bike riders. And there was a time I rode my darn bike as much as I could. I loved it. And especially when I was a kid, that was freedom for me, right? My mom would be working during the summer. I'm stuck home with my sister. I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. Get on my bike, ride it was freedom.
Yeah.
Gone. I wouldn't get home until the lights came on.
Well, it was kind of a bonding agent, for me when I was a kid, because, all the boys in the neighborhood that had bikes, we'd all get together and ride bikes together,
As a kid gang.
Yeah. We were a little,
It was a kid gang.
We were a little biking gang, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It gave you, and again, I'm going to say it, freedom.
Yeah.
I could get clear across town in a hot minute, way faster than walking, and I wasn't a runner.
Yeah.
No way, no how. Did you guys know that the very first bike was called a walking bike? I dug deep on this one. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a bike that doesn't work?
I'm going to tell you all about it. So I never heard about it before, and basically what it was a wooden framed bike. No pedals, no chain, just a wooden bike with 2 wheels and like a weird little handle that you would pull up, kind of like it made me think about when you grab the reins from a horse.
Oh.
You got to reach down and pick it up. It wasn't like the typical normal bike handle that we know today. By now, you guys all know, and I know that I like to learn about cool shit. Why? How this come to be? Who named that? How this come about? So here we go. We're going way back. In 1815, Mount Tambora on Sumbawa, which is an island of modern-day Indonesia, well, that erupted, and it was massive. It was massive. It was with such force that it blasted ash, gas, dust, and rock into the atmosphere. In fact, this was called one of the deadliest volcanic eruptions in history. Not only did it kill 100,000 people from the direct impact, like right now, this was an eruption that changed the world. Quote, what happened after Tambora is that there was 3 years of climate change. The world got colder. The weather systems changed completely for 3 years. You had widespread crop failure and starvation from all Asia to the United States to Europe. The death toll was probably about 1 million people due to starvation If you include the fact that Tambora unleashed a global pandemic of cholera, then the death toll goes into the tens of millions.
Wow.
I'm telling you all this for a reason.
I've never heard of this.
I never heard of it either. I think the biggest one I heard of was Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah.
All right, so worldwide, the sun had dimmed, temperatures dropped, harvests were destroyed. It was also called the years without summer, or the year without summer. It snowed in July in New England. Crops withered away in Europe, which led to famine. Now, as you can imagine, the price of food was astronomical, not only for humans, but for livestock as well. Oats, whatnot. Now, back in the 1800s, one of the main sources of transportation were horses. They were starving, so the only thing to do was to slaughter them, right? They had no oats. And that served two purposes. One, it kept the horses from starving to death. And two, they became food for people. So people were killing, slaughtering, and eating their horses. Now, out of this, a German amateur inventor named Baron Karl von Drass, I hope I'm saying that right, created something that would help people move from place to place that would be much faster than walking, since all the horses were being slaughtered for food. And in 1817, 2 years after the eruption of Mount Tambora, he unveiled the Lauf machine. And I know I'm not saying that right because it's German. And that translates to running machine. And this was a 2-wheeled wooden frame that you straddled and propelled by pushing your feet along the ground. It certainly was faster than walking, and you can even move along the muddy roads with it. When Drass demonstrated it, it took him over 4 hours to go 31 miles. But hey, still faster and better than walking. This running machine was also known as the dandy horse. You guys got to look this up. Now, I found a clip on this. There's a little movie they made of this thing. I put it in the show notes. You guys have got to check it out. I've never seen anything like it. It's really, really odd looking. But that's how it all began. You basically just sat on this thing and you just moved those feet on the ground. Get yourself moving. Yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the clip is great. It's a really old movie, and it's actually really funny. There's a guy with a top hat just moving those legs as fast as he can move them on the ground. So there you go.
You know, they have a kids bike now that's like that. And that's how they learn how to ride bikes now. Like when they're toddlers, they have this balancing bike and you just basically learn how to balance yourself and you kick off with your own feet. And it looks like, a regular bike. It just doesn't have any pedals.
That's right. No pedals, no chain. In fact, Emmy had one. I think she was maybe 3. Yeah, that's exactly right. It prepares them, just like Nina said. You get your balance
Look
in.
at this chap.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys have got to watch this movie, this little clip. Again, it's in the show notes. You guys have got to check it out. So anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. So if no one has anything they want to share, does anybody have anything they want to share? Any quirky, weird, funny stuff? Anything on TikTok? Anything that's viral?
No, but it is our anniversary on Monday.
The 13th.
Yeah,
Hey.
2 years.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Wow. Happy
Guess what we're going to go
anniversary.
do?
What are you going to go do?
I booked us a bioluminescent kayak tour.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. Where's that?
In Mims. It's over there by, I don't know, what is that called? St. John's? Yeah, like the St. John's.
It's not going to be bioluminescent. I did a bioluminescent tour one time years ago in Puerto Rico, and it was supposed to be like the brightest one ever. And when I tell you, it was a lovely kayak ride to get out to the site that it was supposed to be glowy. But by the time we got out to the glowy spot and they cover you in a tarp so it's real dark and then they tell you to splash, you're lucky if you see a couple of dust of sparkles. It looks like a little bit of glitter. You know what I mean? That caught the light in the dark. That's all it ever looked like. So I'm not expecting much. It's a date night kind of thing, and Nina booked it. It was a big surprise. The thing is I own a kayak. I own a tandem kayak. I've had it for years. I've had it since before I met Nina. Nina has been on that. I have been on that kayak 2 times in the past 3 years because she doesn't like kayaking. So for our 2-year anniversary, she comes in my office and tells me that she booked a kayaking trip. I was like, wait, what?
It's not that I don't like kayaking. It's just that, like, from a physical standpoint, it's a very difficult task for me. I have, like, little spindly arms. I can't be navigating the open waters with this little paddle. I'm just not good at it.
So
I don't hate
you
it.
booked a kayaking trip.
Both times that she has been on the kayak, you know, the kayak that I own that I never use because she hates kayaking so much.
I don't hate it.
Both times she's been on a kayak, all she does is sit in the front of the kayak telling me that
Go left.
it's too much.
Go
She
right.
doesn't do it. No, she just says, oh my God, this is too much. Oh my God, this is too much. Literally never doing anything. She's miserable all
That's
the
not
time.
true. I had blisters to prove that I was doing shit.
Stop.
Yes.
What were you doing?
I was rowing.
Tying your shoes tightly?
No, I was rowing.
Well, this sounds like it's going to be a really fun date.
I can't wait to hear how this goes down. You know what? And you know what, Nina? I am proud of you. I'm glad you did it. This is going to be a lovely date, God damn it, Christina.
Just do us a favor.
Okay.
Have a little recorder
Hey,
going.
listen, it's a lovely date. I'm going to be rowing my ass off down the freaking, what is it called? The Indian River? What is it called?
I don't
St. John's
freaking
River.
know what it is.
She's mad now. Fuck you.
To hear her complain. And by the way, it's going to be at night in Florida. So I'm going to be one big bug bite. I'm going to be one big bug bite.
Put
The
on
mosquitoes are going to look.
Put on your Johnson & Johnson's green lotion. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Sure.
You know what? There's going to be so much luminescent. I am manifesting. God damn it! I am going to enroll this in my power hour for you. And now I'm taking the focus off of me and I'm putting it for you guys because Nina worked hard for this and
Thank you
she's
very,
proud of
very
herself. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's not something that I necessarily, I don't hate it, but it's not something I'm clamoring to do. Like, I'm not sitting around going, hey, let's go work out our arm muscles for 3 hours fighting against the currents and, you know, drifting into mangroves where there could be things that murder us. But I was trying to be out of the box. And the thing is that she does everything that I always want to do. Doesn't matter what it is. So I thought to myself, hey, how about we do something that she likes to do for our anniversary? And plus it has the bioluminescence, which is something I have always wanted to see. It was like killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, but baby, listen, I don't understand. Your life is very simple. I actually would prefer to be in the box. So you don't have to think outside of the box ever. Because anytime you want to do something for me, you just remember these things. I like to be in the box. That's all.
Period. End of story. Take that meaning for what you will. Well, I'm excited and I can't wait.
I'm very easy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. You don't have to work so hard thinking out of the box.
A for
You're
effort.
already in the wrong part.
Keep her in the box. Well, happy anniversary again, you guys. All right, so let's move on to... You're welcome. So let's move on to round robin recommendations. I'm going last for a specific reason. So who wants to go?
I'll go.
All right, do it.
So we watched The Possession of Hannah Grace. It's a 2018. We like scary movies, by the way, if you guys can't tell.
Especially in October.
Yeah. So this is a 2018 paranormal horror movie. And, I mean, the movie hits the ground running as soon as we started watching it. I mean, there is action right at the get-go. So it's basically the story is about this young girl. She's possessed by a demon. The movie starts out with the father of this young girl. They're in some kind of church or something, and they're trying to do an exorcism on this young lady, and it's not going well. And as a matter of fact, the priest and his little helper, they get killed. And so the possession doesn't work, or the exorcism doesn't work. So the father kills his daughter, so she's no longer suffering. It was very hard for him to do, but he couldn't see his daughter going through this anymore. So this is like 3 months later. There's a retired police officer that had retired for personal reasons. Well, she starts working in the morgue. And so this is like her first go getting back out in the world. And it's the night shift in a morgue. And 3 months later, this girl's body shows up at the morgue. And all kinds of stuff starts happening. I can't give a lot away, but I can tell you as far as possession movies go, this one, it's a different twist. So this young girl, her body's already dead. The demon is still in this body.
Yeah, he won't let her go.
He will not let go of this young lady. And as time goes on, the body starts healing. And
Because it's doing stuff.
Now, one of the cool things about this particular character, this young lady, the girl that played the possessed young lady is a professional contortionist in real life.
That makes sense.
So, so you could just imagine the body movements that this creature, this demonized young lady can do, and it's quite freaky. But it's a good movie, and it definitely kept our attention the whole movie. And like I said, it's a different twist, something that you don't normally see in exorcisms and possession type movies. So it was kind of a new spin. So good movie.
It's not your run of the mill exorcism movie. So the name of it again was
The Possession of Hannah Grace.
And what did we watch it on?
We watched that on Netflix.
That's right. Okay. It was a good one. Highly recommend it.
All right, I'll go. Well, Nina and I will go. We just started watching The Last Among Us.
The Last of Us?
The Last of Us
Oh.
with Pedro Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
I think it has 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think we're
still on the first season.
We're still on the first season, but okay, so it's good. It's a little bit like what was that other show? The zombie show?
Like a Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. It's a little Walking Dead-ish, only more focused on, the main 2 characters. In the first couple of episodes, I guess it's like the main 4 characters. But it kind of dwindles down to the main 2 characters, Pedro Pascal being one of those characters. And then, forgive me, I don't remember her name, but she's a young girl actress. And I think she kind of, she was in a couple of other things that she's been like making a name for herself. But anyway, she's
an English actor.
Yeah, she was in Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yep.
I think that was
Game
her
of Thrones, that's
first real big role. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's good. It's a little Walking Dead-ish. So, of course, some of the stuff is like, oh, okay, enough with this already. But it's been pretty good. And I've been liking it. So I recommend it.
And that's on, did you watch that on Disney or on Netflix?
Netflix.
I think Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
HBO.
No, it's HBO.
HBO. Okay.
It's HBO. Yeah,
Now
that's where it's
that show was based on a video game, and a lot of critics that don't like the show are comparing it to the video game because there are some big differences. But if you've never played the video game, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, who cares? It's good, and
but I do remember hearing about that like months ago, I guess when it probably first came out, maybe even a year ago. I do remember them doing interviews and something about a song in the video game or something like that, like the music wasn't right or something. I don't really remember that, but I do vaguely remember the video game tie. But yeah, I've never played the video game. So
I didn't know that it was based on a video game, but that definitely makes more sense now when you talk about the character development of the dead people. Because that's the only thing I can't really wrap my mind around. Like, I like the concept of the whole fungus, like, invading us and snatching our bodies. But then, like, when you turn into, like, this weird Groot fungi-looking monster, I'm like, you kind of lose me. I mean, like, if I saw that in real life, no joke, I'd probably shit my pants. But, like, watching I'm like, this is legit cheesy.
And we watched that, sometime last year, maybe?
We did, yeah.
I really want season 3 to come out, but we should probably revisit it because I totally forgot about the whole fungus thing.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys.
Well, season 3 isn't coming out.
What makes them the zombies?
It gets in their
is
brain, right?
the fungus, the mushroom, basically, the fungi, invades their body from a bite, from a human biting another human, right? The infected person bites a non-infected person, and then in that bite, the fungus takes root, and within a day or two, they're like a zombie. And when the zombies survive for longer, they keep transforming like a mushroom grows, right? They keep transforming and they turn into like these monsters that Nina says looks like a fucked up Groot, Groot from
The
Guardians of the Galaxy. I am Groot.
Oh, right. Great.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like the rock guy. What's the big guy's name in the Galaxy people? I don't even know. The one that looks like a big rock. What's his name?
Groot was a tree. He was a tree.
I know. So take the Groot guy and mix him with the guy, and that's what this fungi guy looks like. And it just looks cheesy as hell. It's so silly. And I don't understand why they're sucking their victims' blood. How many mushrooms do you see walking around sucking people's blood? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, they weren't sucking their blood. They were like eating them. I think they
get on their neck, and then that thing comes out of their mouth, and they just sit there and suck on them until they're...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only part I don't like about it. So other than that, I think it's great.
Yeah, I have to revisit it. There's just a lot I just don't remember. I agree. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. How about you, Angela?
Okay, so when I was a child, I used to go to my grandmother's house, and she had all the old books from, because she was German, right? So she had the Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and I would just read the crap out of it all the time. So because it's Halloween soon, I watched Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've watched it a few times. Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus. So obviously, brother-sister duo, they're professional witch hunters who help innocent villagers, and they stumble upon a case that could hold a key to their past, and their parents disappeared and they don't talk about it and all of this. And they find out that there's, of course, bad witches, and then there's good witches, and it's pretty gruesome. But they're like an all-star cast. Hansel is the guy who played Hawkeye in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I like him.
Yeah.
But I love the movie, and maybe not a lot of people might like it, but because of the fact that we all know that the Brothers Grimm fairy tales are actually way darker than the newer editions of the books, right? So I love that, and so I'm a huge Brothers Grimm fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of the stories.
Yep.
Angela, have you ever watched the show Grimm? It was a couple of years ago. Sean Hayes produced it and everything. It was on regular TV. It was called Grimm, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that?
No,
Oh, you
and
should.
I wanted to.
You should.
Is it really good?
Yeah.
I used to love that.
I will watch it.
It's a little corny sometimes, some places, but I loved it. Loved it. And if you like Brothers Grimm, you're going to like this show. Definitely.
I will definitely watch it. I will watch it. Thank you.
Yeah, I know there's a ton of them too. I started watching some. I don't remember what I watched it on, just regular TV, but I couldn't even tell you what, if it was NBC, ABC, CBS, I just don't recall. But yeah, thanks for reminding me about that one as well, Christine. It's good.
Yeah.
I think they're little
I used to love
30-minute. Yeah, they're like little 30-minute shows or something like that, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
I'll definitely check it out.
Cool. And I'm going to recheck it out too. So my recommendation is in honor of Diane Keaton. I'm going to recommend a movie that many probably haven't heard about. And I saw this one when I was in junior high school, maybe on HBO back in the day. It was a movie from 1977 called Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Did anybody ever hear about that one?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We're going to have to really search. I'm going to have to search. This may be something we're going to have to buy and have it shipped to us. So, of course, it stars Diane Keaton, Tuesday Weld. Remember her? Back in the day, beautiful blonde-haired woman. William Atherton, Richard Kiley, and Richard Gere. Richard Gere was so young in this movie. All right, so this movie is based on a Judith Rosner's best-selling book that was released in 1975, and it was inspired by the 1973 murder of a New York City school teacher named Roseanne Quinn. Now, back in 1977, this film made a lot of money for the time of $22.5 million. And in today's money, this is for you, Christine, that would have been $120 million.
Wow, that's a lot.
1977, huge.
Wow.
Now, this movie earned Diane Keaton a Golden Globe Award nomination for Best Actress in Motion Picture in the drama category. So she played the role of Teresa Dunn. And in the movie, Diane, as a teenager, had horrible scoliosis. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was shocked at what I was seeing because she had surgery. And she was basically, after surgery, bedbound in like this weird metal cage. And it really goes in depths about that. And I just remember being horrified for this girl. So finally, she gets out of the cage. She's healed from her surgery. She becomes a young Catholic school teacher in New York City who leads a double life. So by day, she's a well-respected teacher of deaf children. She's calm, polite, responsible. But at night, she frequents bars and discos. It was big in the 70s, right? Mm-hmm. And she was in search of one-night stands. She was exploring and learning about her sexuality and that freedom of the single scene in the 70s. Mm-hmm. So her lifestyle gradually spirals into danger and self-destruction as she becomes entangled with increasingly unstable and violent men. The movie culminates in a shocking, tragic ending that leaves you absolutely stunned. And for the time when this movie was released, it was extremely controversial because of its explicit content and dark tone, and especially because this was within the same year of her movie that was released, Annie Hall. Super controversial. She was absolutely fearless in this movie, you guys. Absolutely fearless. And like I said, it's going to be super hard to find. And one of the reasons it's super hard to find is there's a lot of music license issues because they used a lot of the current music in the 70s, the disco hits. What I did find is like a little clip on YouTube. So I copied that, and it's going to be in the show notes. So you guys got to give this a watch. She's such a young woman in this movie. So Mr. Goodbar is remembered as one of Keaton's most bold and psychologically complex roles and one of the most disturbing cautionary tales of the 70s sexual revolution.
Wow.
I can't recommend it enough, and I'm going to search for it and see if I can find it. So that is my recommendation in honor of Diane Keaton. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yep. So thank you, everyone, for listening, as always, and we will see you all back on Friday for F-Bomb. So have a great week, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Later.
Adios.
Adios, amigos.